From the temple gate, going up to the lower temple includes 225 stone steps.
So look at the steps, they are very, very steep and it's hard for me not to feel a bit breathless. Look at this view from here and it's so magnificent. Alright, morning guys. Right now I'm the hotel taxi. We are going to the very famous attraction in Viet 3, but you have to travel some distance. So today I'll be bringing you guys to the Hung King's Temple. It's one of the attractions in Viet 3 that we definitely cannot miss. Right now I'm at the main gate of the Hung King Temple, and as you can see that behind these doors, I'm expecting the place to be very, very big. So because of the place is very big, so there are two options. First is a tram and the second is walk. But for me, that who likes to do sports, and yeah, I don't mind spending the rest of the day exploring the area on foot. So without further ado, let's go. So this is actually my hotel, the taxi driver that picked me up from the airport. So maybe you can actually explain to me more about this area, the historical of the history of this area, history of Hung Kings. Hey, wouldn't mind you want to say in Vietnamese? You just say in Vietnamese first.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah, say Vietnamese first.
Xin chào các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với Việt Nam. Việt Nam luôn luôn sẵn sàng chào đón tất cả các bạn từ Singapore đến chơi và tham quan du lịch. Xin chào.
So I want to highlight one important feature of communication, as he knows very little bit of English, but for me, I cannot even speak any Vietnamese. So what we do is that we actually have an app. Can you show me? So basically, I speak in English in green, and there's a translation in Vietnamese in white. So actually, he will respond in Vietnamese, and he will translate back to English, and for me, I will explain in English. So I'm a green side.
Tôi sẽ giải thích cho bạn về nguồn gốc lịch sử của nơi này nhé.
Okay, so actually that's a response. Then maybe you can already explain to me the historical significance. That was what I've mentioned. So would like to know what is your response.
I will explain to you the historical origins of this place.
Đền Hùng, nơi ở vị trí là tỉnh Phú Thọ của đất nước Việt Nam. Nơi đây là nguồn gốc của chúng tôi có truyền thuyết rằng Âu Cơ và Lạc Long Quân khi các vua Hùng có dựng nước thì đây là đất, chúng tôi gọi nơi này là đất tổ, và nơi rất linh thiêng của nơi thờ những cái vị vua đầu tiên của Việt Nam ở mảnh đất Phú Thọ thuộc Hà Nội, thuộc Việt Nam. Nơi này rất linh thiêng đối với người dân, bất cứ người dân nào ở Việt Nam. Chúng tôi đều lên đây để thờ cúng, để thăm viếng, để đi lễ, đi hội vào những ngày đầu xuân năm mới. Và chúng tôi thường xuyên lên đây để đi lễ vào các ngày đầu tiên của tháng hoặc là giữa tháng. Đấy, nơi này rất rộng và có núi, có nước, thậm chí là ở trong này có những cái hồ rất là rộng nữa. Nơi đây có những cái đền thờ rất là linh thiêng. Thì chút nữa các bạn sẽ vào để sẽ được tham chiêm ngưỡng từng nơi một ở trong khu vực này. Okay?
Okay.
Go, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So usually that because this place is very big, that's why we take a tram. But this time around, we are going to walk on foot. It's also very comfortable to walk. Let the body produce the heat, especially because now it's very comfortable weather in 19 degrees Celsius, and also more importantly to see the landscape more closely. Here in the third month of a lunar calendar, and there is a very big festival. So this translates to around April or May in a solar calendar. So there's actually a Vietnamese legend that there are actually two gods, Ao Ko and Long Chuan. So they actually hatch 100 eggs. So 50 followed the father and 49 followed the mother, and one of them stay here, and that becomes the Hung's king. You can see a painting behind me, and actually in the middle, as you can see using where my hand is, so there are actually a pair of symbolic paintings. They are Ban Chung and Ban De. So actually in the center you can take a look there, see where the sun is. At the top is called a bangay, wrapped up in a glutinous rice flour, and a bangchung, the green color one, is wrapped up with the leaf. That's why it's green color. These two kits are actually available from March every year. So right now we are going to a flight of stairs and I'm wondering where it goes to. You can see ahead that there is a gateway to the temple that is built very long time ago. And one thing that strikes me is that there are still Chinese characters present. So at the top you can see is Gao Shang Jing Xing, meaning to say, okay, high hill for scenery, I suppose. And there are also basically those Chinese poems. Usually they come in pairs, one on the right, read first, and one on the left. You can see there's a sign ahead. Visitors expected to dress modestly. This is a sacred area. One thing I'm seeing on the gate is that there are engraved Chinese characters. And there is actually an explanation in Vietnamese. It's called Chong Den. So this gate behind me is actually built during the Nguyen dynasty in Vietnam, and there's actually some donation of 200 Indo-Chinese piece. The 4 Chinese characters you see just now is called Chao Dong Lon Mountain. Basically, that's what it means. You can see the guy explaining in Vietnamese through a translator, then later we'll translate into English.
From the temple gate, going up to the lower temple includes 225 stone steps.
So you can see that the number of stone steps is actually many. And right now the temple we are going is to the Ha Temple. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the Ha Temple. The scenery in front of me is very marvelous. It has a view of the countryside, which you can actually see the haze, the mist, a typical countryside scene. With the weather being partially cloudy, you can see a little bit of the sun above. Typical of Vietnamese temples that you can actually see that there are 2 dragons, and the similar can be said for the Chinese culture. So I'll be giving my prayers, hopefully for a better future next year. So actually behind me there's also a store selling the offerings or the incense to burn. And yeah, you can also see that the incense is burning. And I believe with some donations also. So basically the place on my right, it worships the saints and monks. So you can see there are a lot of statues. And on top of the statues, you can see the Chinese characters not only on top, but also Chinese characters along the 2 sides, the left and the right. And I noticed that the number of Chinese characters on left and right, they are equal length. So you can see the map in front of me, and it's a very, very big place. It's very, very big. So we climb up another few more steps, actually a few flights of steps. So this is the entrance to the Trang Thi Temple. And after Trang Thi Temple, then we will go to Trang Temple. At every temple here, you can actually see a store. So not only do they sell the joysticks for burning of incense, but also you can see the souvenirs right in front of me. They also have the mineral water. They also have ice cream in case in the summer days it gets very hot. And one thing that I would like to highlight about Vietnam culture, these are the bronze drums. Guys, so the Trong Temple is next. And among all the temples of the Hong's Temple, this is the highest located temple in terms of elevation. So look at the steps, they are very, very steep, and it's hard for me not to feel a bit breathless. But we have to take one step at a time to get to the highest temple. Hopefully we'll reach there soon. You can see the translator that the temples are arranged in lower, middle and upper. Just curious, what are the significance of the lower, middle, upper temples? So we have come to the highest elevation temple, the Trong Temple. So if you see the 4 Chinese characters, the rightmost 2 characters, if you read from the right to the left, Nan Rue, and that was the old name of Vietnam, Nam Viet. Until some point in time they switched the names around and now it's called Vietnam. So these Chinese characters still remain as a Chinese name of Vietnam. So you can see there's a store on the left and there's some stone statue. They have the incense and the offerings. So let's explore this place in more detail. So besides the usual offerings, there is a stone statue. It's some memorial statue for, I guess, some temple. You can hear the Vietnamese music being played in the background. And as usual, souvenirs are being sold every temple. And a group of people gathering over maybe for some chat. Guys, look at this view from here and it's so magnificent. Up on the top of the mountains and you can see overall view just that it's being blocked by the trees. The view is very panoramic. I love it. Don't tell me this place is looking very much like Sapa and I'm really impressed by the view behind me. So in front of me, it explains the Trong Temple in Vietnamese. So however, I don't quite understand Vietnamese, so if there's anyone who understands what it means, so do help me to list out in the comments below. So after climbing up many steps and now finally we are going down the steps. What a relief. So this is the way down to the Love Bridge and the Otter Well and I can't wait to see what is it like. So right now my guide is in front of me leading the way. So if you're wondering in this temple that there is actually a certain significance of it being located in the low, middle and high altitudes. So this actually shows the status of the bosses, the ranking. So the one at the high one, I think I remember correctly, the Trong Temple is actually the most significant, the most big boss in a sense. Guys, as you can see the statue right in front of me is a statue to pray for love. So I think for those singles like me, maybe can come here to pray, see whether can find a partner or not. If you are wondering what's the name of these two statues, the one on the left is a male Long Quan and the one on the right, the female one, Ao Ko. So these two statues are the one that actually give birth to the 100 eggs, as I mentioned earlier in this video, with only one staying here, and become the king of the Hong King's Temple. The first one ever. It's a very unique thing that it's the first time I'm encountering the statues such as praying for love in this kind of statues. Praying for love. So, given that I am single and we don't know when a partner will come, so maybe for those singles, it will actually be very good to come here, see whether they can pray for love or not. So as you can see that we've visited almost all the main areas of the temple, but because the period that we come is outside of the festival period. The festival period, by the way, is following the lunar calendar or the Chinese calendar. This is from the 3rd month, day 1 all the way to day 10. So when you translate to our solar or Gregorian calendar, next year it will be held from 29 March 2025 to 7 April 2025. So for those tourists who want to come here to see the festive-like atmosphere at the Hong Kong Temple, please take note. I see a Vietnamese proverb in front of me. So in English, it actually means that the humans have a nest with holes, and just like the trees have roots like rivers. So this proverb from Vietnam is actually teaching people to remember the origins. This is a well, as you can see in front of me. And the significance in the Vietnam history is this is a place where you get the water. And water is very important for our survival. Water is also very important for the agriculture, the cattle, etc. What is the significance of the well is basically that the mother Ao Ko go and take a water from the well to go and bathe 100 children. I've just learned one thing, that when we come to the actual festival, which lasts for 10 days, right now the path we are walking on is very spacious, but no, it's going to be very, very crowded during the festival. In fact, the whole of Vietnam all wants to come here because this place is like a birthplace of the Vietnamese people, the origin of the Vietnamese people. These pictures in front of me actually shows what happened during the actual festival. And the first picture, the big picture you see in front of me, is actually an offering being done at the Hung's temple. So who are these people worshipping? It's basically the Hung's king, and the Vietnamese actually believe in this very strongly.
Cuộc thi kéo co trong lễ hội.
This is a tug of war competition during the festival.
So you can see in front of me that you see where my hand is. You can see this region is a tug of war.
Chúng ta sẽ giới thiệu lần lượt từng thứ tự từ trong ra ngoài nhé.
We will introduce each order in turn from inside to outside.
Okay, so when we are doing the introduction,
Đầu tiên đó là trò chơi kéo co, tiếp theo là trò chơi hát đối, tiếp theo là trò chơi cờ người và cuộc thi làm bánh.
First, it was a tug of war game, followed by a sing-along. First, it was a tug of war game, followed by a sing-along game, followed by a human chess game and a baking contest.
Kéo co. Human cheat. Hát đối nó là.
if you see on the left, okay, now I'm bringing it to the right. So basically there is some palanquin singing festival and also the dragon boat competition. If you're wondering when the dragon boat, the races are going to take place, it's going to take place in the 5th day of the 5th lunar month, or they call the Dragon Boat Festival. Basically, it will be held in Van Lam Park, where there is a huge lake. So if you're wondering what does these flags in red, blue, yellow squares, these flags they also use for the Dragon Boat Festival. These flags, by the way, are the symbol of the festival flags. You can see ahead of me that there is a group of Vietnamese women, they're wearing ao dai. So this is one of the Vietnamese costumes. So basically the ao dai is a costume worn by the Vietnamese women, and they are typically used for going to festivals, temples, etc. So the host king's temple is actually a sacred site for the Vietnamese, and all the Vietnamese will want to go there, especially during the day 1 to day 10 of the 3rd month following the Chinese calendar. Other foreigners who actually want to witness the festivals, the games that take place, so do remember to come to this place in the 3rd month of the day 1 to day 10, and it's not following the solar calendar, it's following the lunar calendar. In this case, next year, 27 March to the 7 April. So don't forget these dates. Please book your air tickets in advance, make your travel arrangements, and do come here also. Do remember to share, like, and subscribe my YouTube channel so that you won't miss any important updates. When my next adventure will be a home or away, I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye bye.